Level 13 upgrade. For this upgrade, I'm going to be installing the 2.4 gigahertz radio and receiver. This was donated to me by Radio Control 360. Thank you a ton for this donation. Let's get it installed. So if you have the stock receiver for the Nitro Rustler, it's going to be right here, and all you have to do is take it off, replace it with a 2.4 gigahertz, and you're done. However, I ended up replacing mine with a smaller receiver and installed this waterproof receiver box. So I'm going to have to take this apart in order to install it. It's held together with 4 screws, 2 for the wire tie down and 2 for the top part of the box, 1 screw on each side. And once I pull the top off, you can see the receiver inside. The one with the black wire is going to be your power, channel 2 is going to be for your engine, and then channel 1 is going to be for your steering. Remember that setup. Now I'm going to go ahead and pull the wires all the way through and get this lid off. Once I pull out the old receiver, it's time to go ahead and replace it with the new one. Now this is the one that has only 3 channels to it, including 2 1 channels. Both channel 1s are for the servo for steering, channel 2 is for the ESC or engine servo, and then channel 3, well, is for another servo setup, or it can double as the power. And that is where I'm going to be plugging the power into. Channel 3, then I have the servo that's going to be plugging in to channel 1 for steering, and then the servo for the engine. Now I just got to feed the antenna through the top of the lid and seal this all back up. Alright, now that that's been taken care of, all I have to do is get the antenna, feed it into the antenna tube, and stick it onto the chassis. Now as you can see, the antenna tube does not need to be that tall. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the tip of the antenna and then snip it off right above it. And that's it. All that's left is to go ahead and check out and see if the remote works. So I'm going to turn on the controller, and now I'm going to turn on the RC. So far so good. I'm going to turn it. Perfect. And now for the throttle. Perfect. Everything works fine. So there's one last thing I should go ahead and talk about. When I pull on the throttle, it brakes, and when I push the brake, it throttles. I'm going to have to reverse that, and how do you do it with only one button? It's actually really simple. What you're going to do is you're going to push and hold the set button, wait until it blinks. Once it starts blinking, you're going to mess with the throttle. Hold it down and then push the set button again, and now it's reversed. The same process is for the steering as well. If you want to reverse it, all you have to do is hold it while you're holding the set button and then push it again, and it's reversed. It's a simple setup, and I think it is a lot easier than the 2-button one. But thanks again, Radio Control. That's the end of this installation. And that was Banshee's level 13 upgrade. 2 on top for the wire tie down, guys. So with the original Nitro Rustler setup, you're not going to have this receiver box here, but I made it. I didn't make it, I put it there. So I'm going to have to remove 4 screws, 2 on top for the tire. I said tire again. Darn it, wire tie down. So with the original Nitro setup, oh my gosh. But I ended up putting that in there to make the receiver waterproof. But since I have to go... In fact, the receiver is going to be right on top. So it's a really easy trade, or installation. Replace. Upgrades go to... Upgrade Rustler. So if you have the original Nitro Rustler... So you have to... But since I have this waterproof... So if you have the stock setup for the Nitro Rustler, you're not going to have this waterproof receiver So if you have the stock receiver box, you're not going to have stuff. Oh, so if you have the what the heck is this? It's the power. So all that's left is now to go ahead and test it. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the remote. Turn on the remote, not off the remote.